No. Social battery wise, unless you're in retail, it's very different. You're out of touch. I'm going to die, dude. There's motherfuckers who are accountants in here and they're misunderstanding what I'm saying. A real job does not expend your social battery in the same way as someone who did a sales job, a real job. Okay. I'm telling you, as someone who did both, 9 hours of constant performance and people pleasing taps you out from social scenarios. After 9 hours of that, I could probably do fucking physical labor. It would not bother me, but I can't fucking do more social shit. That's my point. There are obviously real jobs out there that are good comparisons. Service sector, people pleasing jobs would be very similar. Those are like, I think, customer service type shit. But like if you're an accountant or if you're even like in sales, my interactions with clients was limited, way more limited than like constantly having to do this for 9 hours with like a back and forth interaction for 9 hours. That's what like sucks your social battery and you just tap out after it. Yeah, think about it this way. Like you give presentations for your job, right? Imagine giving a presentation for 9 hours straight. It's like after a while you would be like, I don't want to talk ever again.
All right, my broskies. Today's video it's going to be something different from what I generally bring to the channel. It's an opportunity for me to begin to show who I am, what I'm passionate about, and what I intend to do in the future with this channel. I'm an immigrant in this country. I came here illegally with my mother, and eventually through legal means, that illegal status was overturned. I've lived in the United States for over 30 years, and I wouldn't call any other place my home because this country is really all I've ever known. It may surprise you to hear that if you were to ask me my thoughts on an immigration policy, I'd say that we need to be tight on it and secure our borders. You can call it hypocrisy, or I call it basic understanding of securing your property. We won't expand on this today though, but I'm pretty sure with the topics I'll cover in the future, it'll come up and we'll get to speak about it in greater detail. Growing up here in Miami, believe it or not, I've dealt with racism. Folks didn't like Spanish speakers because they said this is an English-speaking country. It wasn't my language that bothered them. I think we know it was deeper than me speaking Spanish. But you may be surprised to hear that I agree. This is an English-speaking country. And because of that, I encourage everyone to learn English, but I surely don't support looking down on others for not knowing how to speak it. When I went to school, I was clowned and ragged on for wearing cheap clothing, buying my shoes at Payless, which was a shoe store with very economical prices with non-mainstream brands. You definitely weren't finding any Jordans in there. I've dealt with my share of bullying, and it was quite often actually because I guess I was too proud to fall in line with what the local school gang wanted, and they would often press me to try to get me to fall in line. These, among many other experiences, shaped my understanding and perspective on life. I hate prejudice, and I hate an abuse of power. I'm also not very fond of inequality either. Growing up, and even still to this day, I always dealt with backlash on being on the side of fairness. I've often been burned throughout my career for defending others and doing everything possible to tear down lies and manipulation, which is often employed by those in power to exert their control. On so many occasions, from my childhood to adulthood, I've always come close to hypothetically losing my head to those that weren't happy I was opposing them. Naturally, when people feel threatened, they would find the need to defend themselves from said threat. But who defends us? Who champions our needs? Who defends our wants, if not for the few voices out there in their respective spaces? I want to be one of those voices. I'm built for this shit. I'm built to call out the bullshit. I'm built to deal with it. We are the proletariat. We are the common class. We are the oppressed. We are the overlooked. We are the unappreciated and the mistreated. Meanwhile, we have some streamers which should be considered, for all intents and purposes, the bourgeoisie. We are the common folk. They are the rich nobility. I'm sick of seeing people flock to assholes like Asmongold for what? To basically be mistreated and run over on his streams? Oh, you got an opposing view? Let's use the power dynamic and call you out for it in front of the chat, put you on the spot for whatever you said, and ridicule you for it. Men, this nerd does not give 3 fucks about you. Just look at the way he comes flying to the rescue when female streamers are being held accountable or criticized. You'll see that his chat tries to reason with him on certain topics, but if you're not seeing it his way, he'll just get frustrated and say, guys, what are we talking about here? Facepalm it, and then threaten to kick people. Asmon comes to Hasan's rescue because Hasan continues to show over and over again that he's a rich fuck trying to hide amongst the common folk. And it's showing constantly that he's not us. He's not living your life. He doesn't know your struggles. His relatability to the common folk is leagues apart. And you can see it where he begins to talk about real jobs and how his 9 hours of streaming is so socially draining. Bro, it's so fucking disgusting to watch the rich try to farm sympathy from the common folk. Bro, he's rich. He's got a big ass house that's valued just under 3 million. Which member of the common folk, which of you can say that you have this? Streaming for 9 hours. The common worker has to work their shift however long it is because there is no choice. There are bills to pay, mouths to feed, and others that rely on us. When you're making bare minimum to get all these things covered, it's a different world for you. Hasan, like Asmongold, are in positions of huge privilege, and just because Asmon chooses to live like an absolute bum doesn't remove him from his position of privilege. I'm not mad about the privilege these assholes have. I'm mad about what they choose to do with it. I'm mad about how blind they are to its very existence. This fucktard Asmongold said this.
Well, there are normal working people that also make thousands of dollars a day.
What kind of regular ass employee do you guys know that makes thousands of dollars a day? There are 250 to 260 working days in the year. Asmontard says there are normal working people that also make thousands of dollars a day. Now, he didn't say a couple of thousand, he said thousands. So let's just make it $3,000 a day. For 250 work days, you end up with $750,000 in a year. That puts you in the top 2 to 3% of the earners in the United States. Asmongold, get the fuck out of here, you hypocritical little bitch. Your squad, your friends are the ones likely making thousands of dollars a day. But they're not anywhere near the common folk, and you're very much included in that, even if you choose to live like a degenerate. To the people that watch Asmon, open your eyes. This guy does not care about you. He consistently shows how out of touch he is with his statements. The consequences he suffers are not the same that we all suffer. Stop falling for the lies these charlatans keep perpetuating. That they, and you, and me, that we're all alike, when we aren't. Most of us will never have access to the opportunities and lifestyle that Asmongold and Hasan have, and I'm not mad at them for that. I'm mad that they try to pass themselves off as one of us. You pieces of shit. You're a rich fuck that's out of touch with your average community member. To those that watch Asmon, why? The moment you disagree with him, he says he'll ban you. You say something out of pocket in his eyes, he'll massacre your character on stream. If you give your time to these assholes, I'm asking you, to give your time to me. I intend to do something with my channel, and it's not to farm my community for money. I intend to make things better for us gamers, us men. Asmongold does not respect you. You are by definition a class beneath him. And thus, how could he possibly understand your plight? When Blizzard wants to use FOMO tactics to charge $65 for a fucking horse, you think Asmon has any idea or any clue what $65 means to you or me? These people cannot possibly be trusted to represent the views of the many or the views of the common. They cannot be trusted to look after the greater good of the many and of the common because they have their own interests to look after and secure. Lend me thy support. My interest will be your interest. Your rage will be my rage. Your loss will be also felt by me. Because the community is my greater interest. All these assholes being raised up and lauded by people they don't give three shits about. I bet you if Asmon lost enough viewers, he'd treat you all with some respect and decency. Have you ever been mad at how poorly a cop treats you? Or how lowly you're looked upon by those whose salaries are paid by your taxes? Well, don't look far to continue seeing the extension of that. He lives off his streams and views. Yet how does he treat you? My brothers, lend me thy support. Raise one of your own to take up the mantle on your behalf. I understand that there are other voices that call out the bullshit, but we need more people to oppose these hypocrites. Let me represent your interests. Let me fight your fight as a gamer. Some of you that are hesitant may ask, well, when you get to the top, how will you be different? Very easily. I'm going to actively work to limit my wealth so that it may not become a fortune. I will spread my wealth through programs and projects that I have in mind that will all be aimed at bettering the lives of men. And you can all hold me to that. I won't ever become a rich bastard because I will consistently redirect sources towards charities, programs, and initiatives. I'm the type to die broke, if only to have made a positive mark on the world. Gentlemen, lend me thy support. Subscribe to my channel, and you'll see how true I am to honoring my words. And a message to all you rich streamers. You aren't self-made. Your community made you. And I'm going to show you how you give back love to your community. Kisses. Deuces. I love you guys. The captain, signing out.